I am Cherry C. Cinco.
Lord Dexter Cabaleda.
Rosemary and De Los Reyes.
I am Charmy G. Ilihino.
Isa Feedworm. Our poster evidence how globalization affects communication and vice versa. Globalization is another form of exploring the world. The more we explore and interact with each other cultures, the more it affects on our communications and interactions too. Increasing business opportunities, remove cultural barriers, and develop a global village. Letting the mass media play the part as a key role in enhancing the globalization fastens the travel of information across the globe at the speed of light. It smoothens the path for culture exchange and multiple flows of information and knowledgeable data between countries through a web-based technology. And either it gives a positive impact or a negative one. Both globalization and global communication will still change the environmental, communication, cultural, political, and economic elements of the world and how people communicate with each other. The poster depicts how communication evolves as a result of globalization. Apps such as the Messenger, the Instagram, and Facebook, or among others, play an important role not only for the people but also for our country. To continue, there is no doubt that communication is essential in human life and society. It not only aids in the process of sharing information and knowledge with others, but it also aids in the development of connections with others. However, also put in mind to use your gadgets properly and make time to bond with your family, since this day, people are losing their capacity to speak face-to-face and instead communicating over social media websites, which is a way of inappropriate. So this poster may not be as good as imagined, but we gave it our all. At the end of the day, we are the ones who decide what we do and how we act.
The impact of communication in the global society, they are both strange or environmental and cultural. It is the ability, the way to connect other people and have people being able to communicate their families, friends, and loved ones. And there wouldn't be any reason for conflict and disagreements. And the prospect of the global society has finally come closer in reality. We all know that communication is important to us, and it is one of the central formation in our society. Without communication, we would be unable to fully utilize the one humanity greatest strength.
How does globalization impact the way people communicate? We can communicate with virtually anyone anywhere in the world, either directly through personal email or indirectly through Twitters or its imitators. English has cemented its status as a global language because it is a language of the internet, and there's always been globalization to some degree. The goods and ideas have always crossed the globe.
Globalization widened our circle and we can communicate with many people around the world. Well, technology and internet help a lot in communication these days. However, since we can just communicate with people through social media or other platforms like email, it makes us lack of communication skills, especially when we talk with people face to face. Someone can be excellent with communicating with other people in social media, but meeting others in real life, he or she may not be as good as in social media or internet. In today's world, since when using platform to communicate and we can see the person that we are communicating, we might misunderstand what he or she trying to say. In this case, the use of emoji helps a lot because it can express someone's feelings.
Cultural and global issue affects communication. Cultural and global issue affects communication by the means of its effectivity on the people itself. It may be affecting us individually or as a group. Therefore, may spark miscommunications or positive interactions. In cultural issue, we may use as an example our language barriers in our own country, since as we all know that there are many languages in the Philippines that are unknown to some and only accessible to a particular types of people, either the natives or people who grow up on a certain place. Through these language barriers, we sometimes find it hard to interact, hard to come on understanding, or hard to communicate overall. Another example of cultural issues is our own unique way of thinking and understanding situations that may be included or the subject of communication.
For the global issues to affect communication, this may include also language barrier. Only few people may know their language to speak or to write. Global issues are pretty and can only be considered an issue that affects communication subjectively on the people, or it is considered a treat more than issue, then it is no longer up to the mass population to decide.